夫婦二人でしたよね。私見たんです。2階にもう一人いるの。
Ju-On Origins is a faithful return back to the beloved Japanese horror franchise. But just how adaptable is it for a foreign audience? What is going on, my beautiful people? It is I, Caped Informer, the most informed, providing you yet another Netflix series review for Ju-On Origins, released just this past weekend. My friends, a quick reminder, don't be bashful and hit that subscribe button for your boy, as well as that bell icon. It is the only way you can ensure that this quality content gets delivered to you, straight to you, when I upload it. So you guys may or may have not seen my trailer reaction for this show, but if you had, you would have known that I was highly anticipating this series, as I am, myself, a fairly big fan of the horror genre, as well as this particular franchise. Whether you are a fan of Takashi Shimizu's original 1998 short films, or the 2002 American remake titled The Grudge, there is something for you to enjoy in this Netflix revival, albeit in a considerably more darker and disturbing fashion. Let me explain. So, for those unaware, Ju-On Origins follows the stories of an ensemble cast of characters within a span of 10 years, specifically from 1988 to 1998, and illustrates how their lives intertwine following one haunted house's curse. No, not another haunted house story, right? In its defense, Ju-On Origins does a lot to separate itself from the run-of-the-mill horror trope, and even enough to distinguish itself from the movies it's based off of, mostly from the sheer brutality of the content. To be fair, it's been a long time since I gave the original film a look, and even longer since I've seen the Grudge remake, but I'm positive they both pale in comparison to some of the imagery that is showcased in this series. Now, personally, I'm one of those horror movie watchers that it's going to take a lot to make me divert my eyes to a scene, but there were one or two that may have made me wince. And this has nothing to do with the horror content as it was. The show did an exemplary job painting a creepy atmosphere and building tension throughout the scenes, which is what I wish it would have just primarily stuck to. There was just one too many times in this show that I felt that the writers were hoping to disturb or shock me rather than build genuine fright. And it's not even the scary things either. There were just a lot of heavy and adult themes in this show that the series didn't really handle as delicately as one would presume. Namely, one scene at the beginning of the series with a character named Kiyomi that enrolls in a new high school. And it's also something that I'm inclined to believe is just a cultural difference between most Japanese horror versus American horror. Shock value is held to a bit of a higher standard there. Regardless though, it's a lot. Like, enough to turn off most audiences not privy to the franchise or the genre. Like, I won't spoil anything, but there's just this one other scene with a pregnant lady in episode 4, and just make sure you're not eating anything during that scene. Don't eat anything during the entirety of this series. That's a pretty safe take. Anyways, outside of all that, I did also enjoy most of the acting in this series. Almost all of the main characters were all distinguishable in their own way and made a definitive impact on the show. However, I do believe the show did suffer a bit from just one or two too many. The overlap in the storylines did begin to get just a little confusing for me at some parts, especially with the 10-year time span. A lot of the characters would disappear for a couple of episodes at a time and suddenly pop back up. Others you would find out died a number of years ago in a much later episode. Protocol though, with most horror shows and movies, just don't get too attached to any one character. All in all, it is a fairly easy binge. There are only 6 30-minute episodes. And yes, I do still recommend this series for any true horror fans looking for a good watch, albeit a traumatizing one. Anyways, guys, let me know if you checked this one out or are planning to in the comment section below. Subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you all in my next video. Peace!